Green Goblins in Fortnite, for God's sake. Luckily, we've got family. We've got one family, two family, three family, four family, five family, six family, seven family, eight family, nine family. It's just hard not to say it. But yes, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. A Chosen Live talking specifically about Fast and Furious. Jason Momoa joins the squad. Woo! Good addition. Fantastic addition. It's currently midnight here in the UK, so it's just gone from 28th to 29th of January 2022. We've literally just started this new year, already a month into it already. But 10 family. Exactly. Fantastic. Well said. Now, for this one, I'm going to be talking a little bit about it, talking about the franchise as a whole, and really just talking specifically about the franchise's direction and where I think they're going to go in the final chapter of this franchise. And, you know, before I go any further, the setup has improved. The audio should be better. The picture quality should be miles better. So could you just comment in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, just so I know, is it better? Let me know. Is it better? Now, for me in the Fast and Furious franchise, you know, I'm always going to be a massive fan of it because I feel like it's just one of them franchises that never really gets the respect that it deserves. It's gone from literally, you know, stealing Panasonic DVD players to literally flying a rocket into space. Like, DVD players to space. Say that again. DVD players to space. Like, I think we should start giving Mystic, hey Connor, hey Abbas, I think we should, hey Lisa, we should start giving it a bit more, you know, credit for what it's been doing. But it's gone from DVD players to space. Like, regardless if it makes sense or not, I think that shouldn't be the issue here. I think what we should be focusing on is that, you know, the fact that they somehow managed to pull this off is insane. They've gone from DVD players to space. What? What? It doesn't make any sense. And that's what I love about it, is it makes no flipping sense whatsoever. But that is what is a big draw of these films to me. And I remember when I was watching Fast 9 in the cinema with Stuart and Luke. Shout out to those two, by the way. Is the minute Prodigy starts blasting through the cinema speakers and the flashback of Dom and Jacob in a quarter-mile race, I said, yes, please, with a packet of crisps. Yes, that right there is exactly what I was after. That's what I love. Now, don't get me wrong. Before I get into the Jason Momoa part of the video, if you want the original intention of Fast and Furious, the original intention, it's these three, okay? These are the original intention. The Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, and Tokyo Drift, okay? These three are the original intention. Yes, there was heists. Yes, there was gangs. But the heists are secondary to a more internalized conflict with the characters and the cars and the culture and the street racing scene. Hell, you know, I know people say it's a Point Break ripoff and whatever else. I mean, fuck off. Obviously it is. But the one thing that hell, the cars from these three movies, to an extension, the fourth one, the cars that are specifically in these movies, there's a reason why the GTA community keeps making cars that look like them. There's a reason why Need for Speed games keep, you know, people in the communities keep making cars that look like them, because these 3 and 4 are so iconic. They are so iconic in the aspect that each car, anytime the car pops up, you know who it is. And that's what's great about this franchise, is that the cars are an extension of the characters. So even though, you know, Paul Walker, you know, may he rest in peace, gone too soon. Even though he may no longer be with us, when you see the Nissan Skyline show up on screen, you're like, okay, that's Brian. That's Brian. Because who else is going to be driving a Skyline? I cannot believe when the Skyline showed up at the end of this, everyone thought it was Jacob. Like, no. Why is it? Let me turn the fan Like, what? Why? Why is it going to be Jacob Toretto in the skyline? Why? That makes no sense. I mean, even in the trailer, they have the big barbecue. The camera is focused on Letty and Dom as they hear the skyline down the road. Of course, it was going to be Brian. Come on. Can't believe that was even debated. But these three are the original intention. And I do feel like people sleep on these three. They say, oh, it only gets better from 5 onwards. Look, it's no secret that The Rock coming in, okay, added a new juice to the franchise. 100% added a new franchise that most people look for when they go to watch movies. But you have to understand, this is where the OG fans have a problem. Is these three are the original intention. This is where we are now. Original intention, where we are now. Original intention, where we are now. That's why the OG fans, you know, have an issue with where they're at now in terms of going into space and doing all, like Dominic Toretto pulling down a ceiling with his bare hands. But at the same time, you get fans like myself who, I'm going to be real, the first three are the best by a country mile. And 5. These 4 right here are, I mean, I've been a bit iffy with the second one in recent years, but it's iconic. But these, hang on. I'll change that. Scrap that. These 4 right here are my personal favorites. And I think if we're being honest, this is where the franchise should have ended originally. It should have ended here. It ended on a happy note. All the characters, you know, got closure. They opened the gateway. The one problem I have with this one is Han and Giselle being together at the end, because then it doesn't make sense with Tokyo Drift. So then they had to do a new one to kill Giselle off to then set up Tokyo Drift, which is because, I mean, to be as much as Giselle's a cool character, the problem I have with her death is it's not really focused on. That's one aspect of these movies that always, like, really gets on my tits. Is, you know, when a character's killed off, they don't really do anything with it. Like Vince was killed off, right? For no reason at all in the 5th one, just completely wasted. Elena was killed, and it was a sad moment. And that's the only death in the franchise that I feel carries some actual weight. Jesse is barely mentioned after the first movie. Then you have Giselle. She's mentioned, but I feel like Fast 6 glosses over the fact that Han's just lost potentially the love of his life. Like, it was a heartbreaking scene. The aeroplane comes down, it crashes down, you know, flames everywhere, and everyone's reunited. Dom and Letty, oh, Brian and Mia, oh, and then Han standing there, you know, to the side, looking at all of them, you know, hugging and all that. And it's like, man, someone give him a hug. You know, it's honestly, unless you're one of the big players, they kind of gloss over that, and it's always really bothered me. But I am a fan that the first 3 are the best because they are the original intention of the movies, and that's not up for debate. That's not an opinion. That's fact, because that's what the original intention was. Now, around the 4th one is when things started to change. So they changed it from the Fast and the Furious to Fast and Furious, and in this one, they were like, okay, we're not doing so hot at the box office. And this is what people have to remember is money talks. Money really talks. And yeah, Vince, dude, keep forgetting this is touchscreen. Vince was absolutely wasted in that movie. It really bothered me. Really bothered me. He's OG, man. But the 4th is where things really started to change, because they weren't doing well at the box office. Okay, the numbers were down, you know, and they were struggling. And as much as Tokyo Drift now is seen as a cult classic, I have been defending this movie since it came out. I said this movie would be a cult classic. When you get scenes like where Sean and Han are standing at the balcony, and then, you know, Han's telling the story about Mexico and, you know, how cowboys go on the run to get across the border and all that stuff. That's fucking gold. And the soundtrack of this movie, woo! And then it was such a different and vibrant location, because you had LA, you had Miami. They're both different and vastly different, but they're very similar. Tokyo is on another continent, like it's a completely different world. And in recent years, because of, you know, where we're at now, Tokyo Drift is now given the respect it deserves. People see it as a cult classic. I've seen people even say, you know what? looking back on it, Tokyo Drift weren't bad. And what's great about that is I'm now starting to see a trend of people really appreciating this movie for what it is. And one of the biggest selling points of this movie was not just our boy Han coming back, because, and I'll get onto that in a minute, but it was the Tokyo Drift crew finally being integrated into the main family. How long have we been waiting for it? And but well, still, the race between Sean and Dom, they don't say who won the race. They just gloss over it. And I'll tell you why they did. In my opinion, in my headcanon, Sean beats him. Because I don't care if you're Dominic, you are not drifting that car around those tight corners. You ain't doing it. So Sean wins. But, and he retains the title of Drift King. Okay, because it's then cheapened. If you just give it to Dom, and that's one problem I do have with this franchise. If you just give it to Dom, you cheapen the Drift King term that Takashi held for God knows how long, and Sean had to earn respect and climb and prepare and train for. You cheapen it by just giving it to Dom. I don't like that. So I think Sean won that, right? And Dom, rightly so, held him to the end. But they couldn't have Vin Diesel losing on screen. They couldn't have Vin Diesel losing on screen. And that's a big thing with this studio going forward is egos of the alpha males, i.e. Dwayne, Vin, Jason. I'll get into all that. But they couldn't have him lose, so they just cameoed him, and then that was that. And it was a bit weird because, I remember seeing the post-credit scene at the end of this movie, and I was flipping out. I was like, oh my God, Jason Statham killed Han? Holy shit. But then as time progressed, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Because you've got these movies, right, are set before Tokyo Drift, but they have more advanced technology and phones than this one. It's a bit weird. This is what happens when you retcon stuff. In my opinion, I don't care what they say. I say Sean won, because to me, you cheapen the original intent of the Drift King term. You cheapen it. And I don't like that. Sean had to earn that. And everyone was like, oh, Lucas Black is this, that, whatever. But now he's become a cult classic in the franchise. He's like, my rad. It's like, what's another one? It's like, so if you don't drift to win, what do you drift for? It's iconic now. And now he's a pilot somehow. But this was the franchise then. This is the franchise now. You need Sean to be brought in to introduce a new aspect of the story that wasn't there before. So what makes more sense than a pilot that sends Roman and Tej to space? I do hope to see more of Lucas Black and Bow Wow. And I've forgotten the other guy, but the third guy. Sounds so horribly, to be with the main crew going forward. I want to see a scene of Han and Sean drifting together. The part where Han and Sean are drifting down the mountaintop in this. Oh my God. So good. So good. But back to my original point. This is where the franchise started to really take a spin. It's this one. And they brought the original cast back because they're like, okay, you haven't really gelled with, as much as their cult classics. You haven't gelled much with Brian and Roman. You haven't gelled much with, Sean and Han. But you have gelled with Dom and Brian. Especially this movie launched them into stardom. This was their launch pad. This is why I think Vin Diesel's so intent on keeping this franchise going, because it's such a key part of his life. Especially for him and Paul. For them two in particular. This is what elevated them to that level. And I remember seeing this thing where there was one, hey, Army Men Life, what's up, dude? There was one award given to the both of them when this one released. And then a few years later, when this one released, Vin Diesel was given 2 awards. Like, what are the odds of that? He was given 2 awards when Paul's no longer there. You see what I'm saying? Like, from Vin's perspective, it's got to be hard, because I do think, when you watch most movies and cast interviews, you think, oh, these guys are faking it. I genuinely believe there was a brotherhood formed between these two. I really think there was a brotherhood. You see all like the behind the scenes things and whatnot. I think Paul and Vin really, connected. So they went back to the original formula. They killed Letty off in the opening. to give it some emotional weight. And this is the part where the franchise takes that turn, because Letty's brought back in this one, but apparently amnesia was the reason. Okay. This is where, like, everyone points to number 5, being the one that changed it. I disagree. 5 changed it because it brought The Rock in. This is where it started changing, but the level of where this was at, I wish it stayed at this level, because even though Dom smacking windows open and one-arm shotgunning cars, and the cars literally being treated like Hot Wheels, was a bit, too much. By and large, what I enjoyed about it was that it was the perfect blend of racing and action. It was like the perfect blend of the two. And then I'd say from like 5 was the peak, and then 6 onwards, like we've got Dom jumping across a bridge, catching Letty midair, landing safe. You're both dead, by the way. Like, you're both dead. You're dying. You ain't living from that. Then you've got like Dom stomping the ground. Then you've got like The Rock moving a torpedo. Get that out of here. Then you got Dom pulling down a ceiling. Like, and then not to mention, he jumps out the truck, lands on his side of his body, and he's just there like that. Like, what? But, I'll get into that. But this is where the franchise took a turn, and I thought it was a great reintroduction, and a great way of getting back into this world. And I remember seeing this in the cinema, and I really enjoyed it. Then you got this one. This was my favorite one out of all of them, I think, because this is the natural progression for where street racing goes. A final heist movie. And this one was before Avengers. You brought everyone together. You brought Vince, you brought Han, you brought Roman, you brought Tej, Giselle, Leo, Santos. You bring them all in. All of them in. And then you bring The Rock in on top of that. And Giselle. Like, I mean, come on. This is the one. Fast 6, my favorite moment of this is when Dom and Hobbs are scoring off against Owen Shaw and the Russian geezer. That was the moment. The most heartbreaking movie I think I've ever seen. Like, the ending of this movie, man. And this is what annoyed me. No one cared about Fast and Furious, right? And I'll just say it, until Paul passed away. That's when everyone really started caring about it. And, I saw people who'd never seen the movies, never seen the franchise, then starting to enter and basically say what the franchise was about. No, you don't know. And I think for OG fans, the ending of this movie hits more because of the symbolism, the symbolic meaning of, you've got, let me see if I can, is there an image in here? Hang on. Oh, bollocks. But you've got the Supra and you've got the Charger. And then at the end of Furious 7, what is the final shot? Supra and Charger, ending it how it started. And it's almost as if the two cars go on their separate journey. Dom's going to his new adventure, and Brian's, going to his new adventure. It was, the symbolism there was so strong, and it was emotional. The rest of the movie was pretty good. The action was quite cool, stupid and bombastic, and the Rock breaking a cast off his arm, like what? But yeah, and then it carried on that weight of Jason Statham's character killing off Han, and we're like, oh shit, now it's personal. And then we get to this one. Now, this one I enjoy watching because it's stupid fun, makes no sense. But the one thing I couldn't shake with this one, Deckard Shaw killed Han. He killed Han. He killed Han. Like, I mean, come on. He killed Han. And he sat there at the barbecue, like, everyone's like, oh, yeah. High-fiving each other, smacking each other on the arse. I'm like, no, this is not the way. This is not the way at all. And yes, he saved Dom's kid. All right, okay, that's a redemption. But I feel like it was a convoluted way to make Jason Statham's character a good guy. That's what I feel it was. And that's, where we're at in this franchise now, is that even though he killed off Han, right, it's just automatically forget. No, Tristan, I'm in the same camp. It really always bothered me that Deckard Shaw is sat there at the Toretto barbecue where he killed Han. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like bloody Kylo Ren killing Luke Skywalker, right? And then bloody sitting there, around Finn, Poe, and Ray, and they're like, yeah. It's like, well, no, what are you doing? Like, no. Or it's like, you know what it's like? It's like Darth Maul killing Kiadi Mundi, and they're like, okay, you can have a seat now. No. But his scene of saving the baby is one of my favorite scenes in the film, and the scene of him and his brother Owen Shaw, that was the best part. And then Dom's ice dodge charge, like the dodge charger that looked like ice. Oh god, it was so good. But you could tell this is where Dwayne and Vin were having problems. They were barely any scenes together, and the drama was palpable. And I do feel like this was a backdoor by Universal to say, hey, let's set up a Hobbs and Shaw spinoff, and let's get Hobbs out of there. So I'm going to get onto that in a minute. And I do love Jason Statham's character, Deckard Shaw. Like, I do love him. I just feel like it was convoluted how the man killed Han, and he's just forgiven. I'm like, you killed Han. Like, it's not like he killed bloody Giselle. I mean, I love Giselle. Han is one of the coolest characters in the franchise. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's what this movie. His Han's reveal in this movie, when he's there like the Winter Soldier and the camera's panning up and the Tokyo Drift music is blasting, I was like, ooh, yes, right, yes. And then they pay off the Giselle storyline a bit more. So I think Giselle, I don't see a world where she can't. I thought she could have come back because Owen Shaw survived falling out the plane. I think you do a disservice to Han's arc if you bring Giselle back. As cool as it would be to see Giselle in like the next Fast and Furious, I just feel like doing it cheapens Han's story, and Han's with Elle, his like, you know, protege in this one. Leave it as that. And man, he got to drift a Supra, but it's a Supra with the same design as his Veilside RX-7. Like, I mean, like, come on. And then the end credit scene is what sets up Deckard Shaw and Han to... Now, I've seen people say, are they going to have a civil war? No, that would be stupid, because look, as much as I love Han, right? Deckard Shaw would tear him apart. You know what I'm saying? Like, Han doesn't have Dominic Toretto super serum. You know, you know what I mean? He doesn't have that. Deckard would kill him. But I think it will be Deckard confronting his demons. Now, do I think The Rock will appear in Fast 10? No, I think Dwayne and Vin have literally made it abundantly clear these two do not like each other whatsoever. And Vin's tried to reach out to him. Dwayne's called it manipulation. So I think there's just a lot of animosity there, a lot of bad blood. You know, yeah. So as much as I want The Rock to come back, I do feel like it's likely that he probably won't come back. And I feel like that's it for him. You won't see him in the main franchise by the end. I would hope for a cameo, like even if they film a cameo where he's not with the main cast, even if he just shows up on the comms somewhere, please, because then it doesn't feel the same. Because you see what I'm saying? If the Fast and Furious movies, right, were literally these three still, then I wouldn't really care. But since this movie, The Rock added a new dimension to the story that wasn't there before, and really set the precedent of what was to come. So not having him there feels weird. It feels strange. And which it's even more of a shame, because I think The Rock was willing to come back, because he did say in a post, you know, I'll be seeing you soon, Toretto. And then all this other bullshit started happening. So it is a shame. I just kind of hope that they can resolve it. I mean, never say never, but I do think if you're hoping for him to come back, probably ain't going to happen now. Oh, hey, Shaman. Nah, I know what you mean. Yes, and Han lives. Exactly. Superhero that can't talk. Oh, thank God for that. Well, you won't be hearing his grunting every 2 seconds. I know, honestly, it really is. It really is. Now, I don't think... I'm not entirely sure. Ha! Get it? See what I did there? Sure. I'm not entirely sure if Jason Momoa is replacing The Rock, because the thing is, John Cena has replaced The Rock in my eyes as the secondary muscle character. And John Cena is 100% coming back as Jacob Toretto. They'd be stupid to leave him out the finale of, Like, why would you bring Dom's long lost brother that we've never known about for 9 movies and then not have him appear? Like, that's just stupid. Of course, Jacob's coming back, and they spell Jacob with a K. It really bothers me. So you've got that. Could Jason Momoa's character join the family? I mean, they always do this thing where they. I mean, I knew that John Cena's character was going to join the family anyway because Vin wants that brother character to fill the Paul Walker gap, and then he wants the muscle character to fill the Hobbs gap. So John Cena was perfect for that. I really wanted more from Jacob Toretto, though. I really felt like they could have done a lot more in terms of making more of a villain. But his little redemption moment, but I can, and then drifting the Supra into shot, and then you have the brothers literally. There's so many moments in this that are like Christopher Nolan. You know, in Dark Knight when Batman flips over the truck with the Joker in it, that's what Dom and Jacob do. Then you've got Dom literally in Inception when the building's spinning around like in a circle, and you've got Dom literally bouncing all over the place. That's exactly what happens here. Yeah, if you're going to watch the Fast and Furious movies, I recommend Release Order because it's the only way it's going to really make sense. Release Order. Trust me, do it Release Order. I mean, it's not even that you've never met Paul. It's a retcon. You know, it's a retcon. Jacob Toretto didn't exist before this movie, as far as I'm concerned. But what they did, and that I respect, is they worked Jacob's character into the story in a way that was believable for me. I felt like it was earned. I felt like they did as good a job as they could, and I feel like they did as good as they could, if you know what I mean, with what they had. But I would like the franchise to end now. Like, I mean, come on, let's get to some closure. Let's end it. Get to a conclusion. What's the release order? I don't know. All right, Abbas. Right. Someone type it in the chat if not. Right. So here's the release order. It's literally in release of chronological order. Right. So you've got, hang on, The Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious 5, Fast and Furious 6, Fast and Furious 7, Fast and Furious 8, Fast and Furious 9. And then between, I don't have it on disc, but between 8 and 9, you have the Hobbs and Shaw spin-off. Now, do I think Shaw will be in Fast 10? Yes. Do I think The Rock will be in Fast 10? Probably not. Yeah, I mean, the first 3 about the gearheads and all that kind of world, and now they're just money-making machines. But one thing that you guys also have to remember is while people are like, oh my God, why are they still making Fast and Furious movies? There's a very simple reason. A very simple reason. Are you welcome, Abbas? There's a very simple reason. Money. That's the reason. Money. It's. They could have ended the franchise on 5. They could have ended the franchise on 6 even. They could have ended the franchise on 7. They kept going. They could have ended No, they couldn't have ended the franchise at 8 and 9, to be honest, because they left too much opened up. But 5, 6, and 7, they could have ended it 3 times. But they did. Even on 4, they could have ended it, but they did. So I think, even though the movies themselves are coming to a conclusion and Fast 10 will be the culmination of the saga, I just don't think the Fast and Furious movies are going anywhere. I think even though the main saga will wrap up, hell, the Skywalker saga supposedly wrapped up, but you've still got content coming out for that. So I think what's going to happen is Fast 10 and Fast 11 are going to close the saga, but you might get a Roman and Tej spin-off in there because they were alluding to that at the end of Fast 5, and they've been talking about it for some time, that Ludacris and Tyrese, they have a good chemistry. Like, it's Bad Boys kind of vibes that they've got. Tokyo Drift 2, like, you've just brought Han back. Han's got a protege called Elle. You've got Twinkie, you've got Sean. Do a Tokyo Drift 2. Takashi's Revenge. They've got a Cypher prequel coming out. No one gives a fuck. Who asked for that? I don't know. Whoever asked for it, who wants it? Why? Who cares? I'd rather get a story about Johnny Tran and them lot. Then you've potentially got you've got a younger cast now. You've got Vinny Bennett playing Dom. You've got Finn. Is it Finn Cole playing Jacob Toretto? Like, there are ways that you can use the flashback cast. Now, one thing I really would love, please, is one movie just about the original intention of the racing. Please, just one movie in there, and now you've got the flashback cast and the younger actors. I think it is entirely possible we could get one movie just of the racing, because you got to think, young Dom and young Brian weren't pulling down ceilings at the time of the first one. They weren't doing that. It only happened in the later sequels. So Vin Diesel was big on the mythology of Fast and Furious. I can't believe I'm even saying that. The mythology of the Fast and Furious. How is that a thing? How is that even a comment? But the mythology, right? If you're going to respect the mythology, you have to make sure that, okay, before this film, it was just DVD players. And you can get away with robbing basic trucks and stealing phones and DVD players. I don't want to see them bloody nossing into space or any of that malarkey with the flashback actors. You can't do that. You can't do that. But overall, the franchise has a special place in my heart. I'm always watching one of them every now and then. Like, I'll be working on videos, I'll be working on other stuff, and I'll just have one of them playing in the background. I always have one of them on. They're like my comfort movie. Hell, family. I even got the necklace. I like to think that, I'm the not as strong version, slimmer version, taller version with hair of Vin. Much slimmer. But the lessons of these movies of family, and you are not, it's not about whose blood you carry. It's about, who you care about, who your brother is, who your sister is. And it's basically the theme of Fast and Furious is family. I know it's become a bit of a meme. It's like family, 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 family. But, it's an important theme. And it's one that I've kind of carried into my own personal life, as with the Kings or with you guys in the chat or with the legends now, is everyone gets a seat at my barbecue. That everyone gets a seat at my barbecue. That is how I do things. AR, my bro. How are you, man? Liverpool have swooped in for Luis Diaz. Damn. Last minute. Talk about last minute, bro. Hope you're good, man. Damn right. Yeah, I mean, the opening of Fast 9, I freaking adored. Like, going right back to the original origins of the franchise and seeing Dom's dad, spoilers, die, was like, holy shit, whoa. Like, now that was awesome. And then you cut to the next bit where they're in Monte Quinto, like Roman's like running away from people who have like stormtrooper. Like, I'm Roman, okay? I'm Roman. Obviously, I'm not black, but I'm Roman. And then you've got people shooting at him about here, and there. They somehow miss. How? Like it. That's one of my biggest problems with this one. Is it like don't. You can be dumb fun, but then don't patronize the audience. Like, don't make them go, okay, come on, you're really thick and stupid. Like, come on, don't do that. That's a bit too far. But overall, I still enjoyed the movie, and I have such a love-hate relationship with it. For me, I'm more partial to the first three because, Act of Four, all that kind of stuff, and Ja Rule at the end of the first one, and Tokyo Drift, you got Don Omar. Like, I think it's Don Omar in it. I could be wrong. Could be butchering that. But I think for me personally, Tristan, that is a very good idea. This is what I've been saying, bro, is that, even though Fast 10 and 11, because it's split into two parts, will be the final chapter in the saga, you've still got Hobbs and Shaw, you've got the flashback actors now that you could do flashbacks with, you've got the Tokyo Drift crew again, you could do Tokyo Drift 2, you could do, I don't know. I mean, they're doing a Cypher prequel. Who the fuck asked for a Cypher prequel? Excuse my French. Who asked for that? No one. Then you've got Ludacris and Tyrese. Their chemistry is good enough for, I think, a Bad Boys type movie. You could do that. There's a lot of routes they could go, and the characters, I think, will expand. Like, this is the Avengers. Like, I think what they should do is treat these movies like Avenger movies. Every now and then, like, let's say Fast 12, okay? You have a big team up of the new stories, but you have spin-offs in between or something. And the reason I say that is that linking it back to earlier on is Universal know these movies make money. And in a pandemic world, Fast 9 amounted to about 700 million in a pandemic world. Now, you could say No Way Home went to 1.5, but, at the end of the day, No Way Home right now, even though it's Spider-Man and everyone loves it more, people are less kind of, you know, and I've got to be careful. I can't say the P word, even though I just said it. I can't say the P word or the C word in terms of the sweet and sour sniffles. But the world was bad when Fast 9 released. It's still bad now. That's up to your subjective opinion. But people are more relaxed with it. So No Way Home raking in 1.5. If it wasn't for the sweet and sour sniffles, I guarantee you would have hit 2 billion. Easy. Easy money. It would have surpassed Endgame. 100%. But that's how much Fast 9 made. And I got to be honest, the last movie I'd seen before Fast 9 in the cinema was Rise of Skywalker, a movie which I liked. I liked it, but I was disappointed for it being the end of the Skywalker saga. How did, like, I haven't even bought episode 9 on DVD. Like, I can't bring myself to do it. I can't. When I got Disney Plus. But how did Fast 9, the Fast saga, do better than Rise of Skywalker, the Skywalker saga, for a closing of the chapter? Like, this movie celebrated 20 years of Fast and Furious better than that movie celebrated Star Wars. How in the hell does that work? How? Like, this has got so much in it. It's got original street races, original score, going way back to the beginning. You've got, going right back to the roots of the show. You've got Brian coming back. You've got the cars, the classic stuff, the real depth into the characters and their backstory, celebrating the 20 years, the amount of Easter eggs and references. This was made with love. And that's one thing I think these movies don't get credit for. It's just they're dumb fun. But the amount of work that goes into them, honestly, guys, watch the behind the scenes of A Day on Set with Justin Lin. I think that was it. Like, where you see how much work he has to go through to make this movie happen. The dude works his ass off, But yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with the movies. I think the first 3 are the best, original intention. But the new movies, they're still cool. You can still enjoy them. Let's catch up on the chat, and then I'm going to read some articles. You should rank the Fast movies. It's Fast Livestream. You know, I'm going to do that in a minute. The first 3 are... You're damn right, Mystic. That's it. That's nuance. Is the original 3 has a special place in your heart, but the actions is more fun ones. That's fair. Fasty Furious, he said he'll see Tyrese soon. Exactly. Yeah. Carter Verone. Exactly. Yeah. Leave it for spin-offs and then bring him back for Fast and Furious as the main Avenger films. Fuck it. Why not? But let me rank them. Now, obviously, let me just get them into order. Because this is... All right, just give me a second here. Bear with me, because I need to make my choices. Now, as much as the second one has a lot of classic moments for me, it's not my favorite out of the bunch. But I'll explain my ranking. Now, this ranking could go up or down. So I just want, people to be aware of that. This ranking could and probably will go up or down. Right. Because you see, Fast and Furious 7, as much as it's dumb fun, that ending is brilliant. Now, even though one of them is in last, okay, it doesn't mean I think it's bad. It's just my least favorite on the grand scale, if you know what I mean. Okay, so in 9th place, we have Fast and Furious 8. Dumb fun, stupid, but a good time. Fast 9, even dumber fun, but it has more celebration of the saga. It brought Han back. We've got more of that Toretto mythology that we've always yearned for. So I love that about it. Fast and Furious. This has the best opening out of all of them, right? When Dom and Brian are like, the screen's black, right? And you've got the Dodge Charger. I think is it the Charger? I could be wrong. Comment. I'm not too sure. Comment if I'm wrong. Luke, if you're watching or on rewatch, let me know in the comment section. But when this movie opens and you got the skyline and the Dodge like running, down the hills and the coastline, and then Brian gets there first, Brian wins, yeah, but he's also winning symbolically to the birth of his child. And then Dom's like, our old life is done. And then Brian goes to see Mia, cuts to black. Let's go for a little ride. And then 2 Chainz starts blasting through the fucking speakers, and a montage of the 6 movies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even Los Bandoleros, that short movie, it was just a great way to open it. Fucking loved it. And then the bit where Hobbs and Dom team up against the Russian geezer and Owen Shaw. Woo! Chills. This one, heavily underrated by people. Dom somehow is like a CSI detective that can see how a car gets destroyed or whatever. But it was a great reintroduction to the franchise and a great way to set the stage for what was about to come. Too Fast, Too Furious. A lot of nostalgia for this movie. You know, i.e., look, still got the sticker on it. Like I said, we're hungry. You know, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, pockets ain't empty, cuz. And then you got the drop it, hell, I want to hear about this. He's like, I said, forget about it, cuz. I was like, oh, God. But this introduces that flipping bad boy right there. The Nissan Skyline. Yes. But not my most favorite to rewatch. Fast and Furious 7. The action in this film is stupid as hell. It makes no sense. But I think the Paul Walker's presence in this film makes me elevate it above everything else. Because it just, man, it hits you when the ending plays. It really does. It really hits you. I mean, I know everyone's like, well, you know, everyone mimics the song "See You Again" and all that kind of stuff. But if you were an OG fan, it hits different. This is probably my favorite one of the newer ones. I absolutely freaking adore this one. The fight between The Rock and Dom was like, you know, you see, I keep doing that. Even though The Rock's character's Hobbs and Dom is Vin, like it's basically Vin and Rock. It's just the same thing. When they fight, it's like King Kong and Godzilla duking it out. But then it's the Avengers before the Avengers. They bring back the original crew across the whole Fast Furious verse, if you will. Fucking loved it. Then you've got this one. The one that has been heavily underappreciated by everyone up until now because of those movies. Tokyo motherfucking Drift. Hell yeah. And obviously, number one, what else is it going to be? Come on. Like, if anyone says anything other than this one, I need context and nuance immediately. You cannot not put this at the first one. And I think a big reason why people, and again, that's mostly my temporary ranking, that could change. I think a big reason why people put the first three, you know, in such low regard is because from 4 onwards, the movies become more pop culture movies. And in the first 3, you only have a real appreciation for them if you grew up in an environment like these guys did, like the characters. I did. Or if you love cars, which I've always loved cars. I don't always know, like, you know, the ins and the outs and the inner workings and stuff. That's what I got my boy Luke for. You know who you are. But I've always appreciated the cars. I always used to like drive around my little Hot Wheels and just pretend I was like Brian or Dom or something. When I go to the arcades, when I was younger, they always had a Fast and Furious game in there. Loved it. Juicy, what's up, bro? So yeah, this movie slaps. The Mitsubishi Eclipse, right? When that, woo, and then you get the Supra at the end. I mean, goddamn. I mean, honestly, this is what Fast and Furious was always about, and this is why it took the world by storm, because it was a multicultural group with multiple ethnicities and communities. You know, hot women, hot guys, sexy cars, killer soundtrack. Like, it was everything. If you want a time capsule movie, late 90s, early thousands, this is the best example I can give, because everyone I knew was doing stuff like this, and not stealing DVD players. But, you know, this is one of the movies that I think most people are like, yeah, it's all right. But if you have real experiences that relate to this, you'll enjoy it more. I know people who, they love cars now because of this movie. This movie sparked their passion for cars, or they just love cars anyway. And these 3 movies, they're not for the average people. They're for gearheads. They're for people who, like, you know, they're about suspension, transmission, chassis, you know, all that kind of stuff, gearboxes. You know, that's what these ones are for. And then later on, you know, if you're not a car person, you don't need to be. You really don't need to. It's more of just, you know, okay, now there's this. Yeah, you're damn right, bro. You're damn right, bro. Exactly, AR. It's our time period. And this is another thing. Like, I know, you know, and exactly, especially Paul. He loved it. He really loved it. Like, they did a good job of getting people up on in there who, you know, actually loved cars, especially Paul. Probably Paul more than most. But I think the only way people really relate to these movies is if you have an experience like that. I remember a time when people like house parties were, they're still common now, but back then, all the rage. Like after a night of whatever, there'd be house parties everywhere, music blasting, Ja Rule, turning it up, and honestly, it was a crazy time, and I think everyone knew what this movie represents is more than just racing and respect formed between Dom and Brian. It's more of a representation of the racing culture at the time of tuner cars, hot imports, JDMs, everything you could name, and the customization. Like the cars in this movie, at the time, you could get for dirt cheap. Now you have to pay through the roof to get them because times have changed, and they've really come a long way now, a long way. Their value has like skyrocketed, mostly because of these movies. And this is what I was saying: is even though we're here, the cars in this movie don't stick, unlike the cars in this one. I'm just saying. The cars in the later movies feel like sponsorships and endorsements by companies. And the franchise, and I'm just going to say it, the franchise from 4 onwards gets a massive hard on for Dodge. Like, Dodge, 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 Dodge. Like, can we get something else? Please. Can we get some more Toyotas in there? Some more Mitsubishis? Like, come on, step it up. Which is why I was happy that this one brought in a Supra. I was like, okay, time to freshen it up a little bit. But this one, by far and above, always the best, always will be. I don't care what anyone says. This is the best. It's not the one that I rewatched the most, but this is the best. Always will be. Always will be. Absolutely always will be. Oh, yeah. This is what I mean. This is why you see GTA 5 car customization and Need for Speed car customization on that movie, because those cars are so iconic now, especially the Charger. Imports and exports cost a lot as well due to tariffs and other currencies. You never see a Nissan GTR 32 or 34 because they're so rare. But in Japan, you can get them like that. But outside, no. Oh, crap. I forgot my thing's touchscreen. I zoomed in. Good choices, Tristan. Yeah. Oh, NOS. And you know what the funny thing is? NOS is an invention, I think, from the movies. I think nitrous was just always the term, but the movies kind of invented NOS. Oh, countries. But yeah, that's mostly my ranking on it. And I didn't realize I went on for a good 47 minutes talking about my feelings on Fast and Furious. But, I did say I was going to start to do more of chosen lives like these, talking a little bit about it. I'm going to pull up an article now, and I'm going to read through it about Jason Momoa joining the Fast franchise. Because I gotta get through this. I gotta get through this. There you go. Look at that. Join me at the Toretto barbecue. Right, hang on one sec. Let me see if I can. Damn. But yeah, if you notice the glow up, that's you see, I don't mind keeping my handsome self at half the screen, but then you can't see the article. Right, I'll just go do that then so you guys can see it. Right. Okay, Jason Momoa in talks to join Vin Diesel in Fast and Furious 10 exclusive. Now, before I even read this, I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about Billy Bob's movie blog. Now, I got that from Dave McRae. It's a great example. But essentially, what it means is look at the source who's saying X, Y, and Z. If someone is saying, okay, Aquaman is in Fast 10, and you look at the source, and the source is, Billy's action pop culture domain, you need to look at that and go, okay, maybe, just maybe, that's probably not going to happen. Or it doesn't mean they're right or wrong. We're talking about probability of what's likely. If it's on the Hollywood Reporter and Deadline, think about it. If it's coming from some random site on some tertiary account somewhere, hit the brakes and drift to the side, because it's probably not the thing. It's probably not the case. Just had to throw that out there. And I really, no, they've done that once. I don't want them doing it again. No, I really want someone to be a villain for the end. If you've got John Cena and Vin Diesel on the same team, you need someone who can throw the pounds. Especially if they manage to get The Rock back as well. Big if. But Jason Momoa in talks to join Vin Diesel in Fast 10 and Fast. I need to take a drink. That's what happens when you're talking a lot. Okay. Diesel versus Momoa. Damn. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, isn't Momoa like bigger than The Rock? Like in terms of height? I think he is, isn't he? Hang on. Yeah, 1.93. Oh, Dwayne's actually taller. Oh, my bad. You see, and that's another thing. Like The Rock and Jason Momoa, yeah, they're tall, but they're not as tall as you think. It's just because the majority of people are average height, if you know what I'm saying, and they're always surrounded by people who are shorter. Jason Momoa is in final negotiations to join Vin Diesel and the rest of the starry ensemble cast in what is being called Fast and Furious 10, the working title. Let's be honest, it should be called Fast X, Fast 10 your seatbelts. That's what it should be called. And while plot details are being muffled, the Aquaman actor, or could be one of the film's villains, Universal had no comment. Of course, they're not going to say. Justin Lin, who returned to the franchise with 2021's Fast 9, the Fast Saga, is back in the director's chair. Longtime stars Michelle Rodriguez, Tyrese Gibson, Ludacris Bridges, and Sung Kang, boom, are also returning for the 10th installment. Charlize Theron, who first appeared in the 8th film, The Fate of the Furious, and returned for F9, is also expected back. Of course she is. She's still alive. We're going to kill her off. Diesel and Lin are producing. Diesel wanted Dwayne Johnson, who appeared in the fifth through 8 films, as well as spin-off Hobbs and Shaw, to return to the franchise after skipping F9, and courted him both privately and publicly, the latter via social media. After a November Instagram post where Diesel pleaded for the former WWE star to come back, Johnson said in a December interview there was no chance of that, calling Diesel manipulative. The search was then on to find someone who could fill the needed quotient of star and muscle power. However, because the script is still a work in progress, it's unclear whether Momoa's part is protagonistic or antagonistic in nature, or perhaps even both. In recent years, the Fast movies have stayed pumped and relevant not only by amping the scale of stunts, but by beefing up the call sheet with turns by Theron, Johnson, Statham, and Cena, even throwing Helen Mirren into the mix. And that's one thing I'll get into as well. Hang on, pause that. What the hell? Getting adverts. There we go. It's unclear who else returned for Fast 10, which shoots this spring at Universal. Yada yada yada. That's not important. So there's a key bit of detail there. Is that it's unclear whether he's coming into the franchise as a good guy or a bad guy, and I think this is contingent on two things. If The Rock doesn't come back, he'll probably be a good guy, just because they need someone to beef it up. And Jason Momoa, people will go and see this movie alone for Jason Momoa. But one thing I love about Fast and Furious more than anything is think of Fast 9. 1 minute you're in Tokyo, oh my god, Han's back, and then you're in London, we've got Helen Mirren in here. Like, what? Like, it's crazy. It's weird. You've got like high caliber, like Oscar actor with random pop culture Hollywood actors. It's weird. It's a weird feeling. But yeah, then you've also got Jason Statham coming back as well. That is another thing. Like, you can't leave that thing between him and Han unresolved. So, I mean, maybe, because there is an article here. I don't know if this has anything to do about it. But it says Jason Momoa living in van parked in Pal's yard. Damn. Shit, times have hit bad for him. But I do think, if that is the case, that could play into it. That could play into it just a little bit. Because again, remember, it's show business, people. Daily Mail. I love this fucking paper. All right, okay. Let me just cut the ad. 1 second. Okay. Jason Momoa in negotiations to star in Fast and Furious 10 after that feud between franchise mainstay Diesel and co-star Dwayne Johnson. Momoa is allegedly negotiating a main role. The 42-year-old heartthrob will be starring alongside Vin Diesel, who has been a mainstay of the series since its first movie. Damn. He's now in the last stage of talks for the role. Oh, yeah. Okay. He's in it then. Justin Lin, who has directed 3 is back at the helm for Fast 10. So, yeah, it's basically the same article. I don't know why that's coming up. You see what I'm saying about the Daily Mail? It just tried taking me to an article that I don't care about at all. What the hell? Yeah, it's weird, but I like it. I like how you go from like iconic location within the Fast and Furious saga, like Tokyo and London, to Monte Quinto, to Tbilisi. Tbilisi, is that it? What do I think of Aquaman? It was all right. Like, had a bit of cheesy moments here or there, but overall, it's all right. It was okay. It would be better if DC got their shit together, but that is a separate thing. I'll be talking about that at another point, bro. What? Yo. But yeah, it's mostly I just wanted to get on here and talk about Fast and Furious for a little bit. I probably won't make this a too longer one. I'll probably go for another half an hour. But yeah, there will be a lot more of these chosen lives in future. So comment in the chat if you guys like me doing these kind of things, like when news breaks or when trailers drop, to talk about them and react to them and all that kind of stuff. But then, I got my Fast and Furious movies here. Comment below any questions you have regarding Fast and Furious. What's my favorite character? What's my favorite car? What's my favorite scene? I want this to be a fully Fast and Furious type one. So comment it in the chat. Comment it in the chat. You guys have got half an hour of me talking about Fast and Furious because it's all about family. But yeah, that's mostly what I could see happening. Is it's contingent on very much, how it pans out with The Rock. But don't be surprised if you see Jason Momoa sat at the barbecue. And this is one other critique I have: is the early movies had nobody actors. Like no named actors in it at all that you really knew of. It was just people you might have seen once or twice, and that was it. It was literally up and coming people or people you'd never heard of. Now it's all about names, which is why they had Cardi B in Fast 9. What the fuck? God. Ugh. Did you cry in any of the scenes apart from any of the... Wait, did you cry in any of the scenes from the... Yes, so... Every single scene or frame after the moment when Brian is playing with Mia and his kid on the beach, it doesn't really dawn on you until Roman says, when Tej is touching Roman on the shoulder, and Tej is close your mouth for 2 seconds, open your eyes, man, and then they're just looking at it, and Roman's beautiful, things are going to be different now. And it's that moment right there. It's not even when Vin says it's never goodbye. It's when Roman says things are going to be different now, looks down. You can tell internally that that's hitting Tyrese. That's not Roman. That's Tyrese feeling that. And then the music, and then Natalie Emmanuel's character Ramsey says, "You aren't going to say goodbye. It's never goodbye." And then it's been a long day. Oh, fuck. Woo! Honestly, dude. And this is the thing. I don't normally get upset at celebrity deaths because, look, celebrities are people like me and you, okay? Contrary to popular belief, they shit and piss the same as the rest of us. They have nights out. They wake up the next morning with a hangover. They throw up. They go grocery shopping. Well, probably send someone else to do that because paparazzi hassle them. But they're people just like me and you. But I think with Paul Walker, I think the thing that really resonated with me was, even though I didn't know the guy, I felt like he was someone that was genuine in Hollywood. And I could tell this because he doesn't strike me as Mr. Hollywood. He looks it, but he always spent time, out in the wilderness with animals and with nature. He was an animal lover as well. He loves surfing, skiing, riding mopeds and motorbikes and rallying. He loved everything. Pure junkie in that aspect. Pure adrenaline junkie. But he struck me as someone that was genuinely real within Hollywood when most people in Hollywood are not. And that ties into Reach Out Worldwide, which is the foundation that he started. And what I love about Paul Walker's approach to the situation is when something happens in a country, people would send donations or whatever. He will get on a plane, stop what he's doing, and go over there. He would continue to make the Fast and Furious movies, even though he was missing out on the growth of his daughter, because he loved the fans. And, his love for the fans is unparalleled. I saw a video where he's like, I love our fans. Sometimes I get Brian, if he's in Mexico or somewhere. And he'll know that they're fans. If someone calls him Paul, he wouldn't really want to talk to them. But if they call him Brian, he'd be fully up for a conversation. So even though I didn't know the guy, I always had the impression that Paul genuinely was not Hollywood in that sense. That's at least what I felt. So when you see that scene play out, man, I was bawling like a baby. Cardi, yeah, it was unneeded. Yeah, exactly. It's almost like we grew up with him, you know. And Paul, I think, had such a warm presence to his character and such a charm that even though you've got Dom doing all these insane stunts and whatever else, so you know what that meant, pulling down ceilings. Brian's character added a sort of gravity to it. This is why I was so happy they brought Han back in Fast 9, because the movies had become so bombastic, so stupid, so ridiculous that I was like, okay, Han coming back reminds me of the old days. It adds a bit of, you know, gravity to it, emotional depth. That's what I really liked. And then Elena's death, bro, that fucked me up. I was like, oh my god, man, that was heartbreaking. I just wish they'd done more with it. I got misty eyed when Han looks at Letty and Dom hugging, and then Brian and Mia, and then Mia's like, "Where's Giselle?" Walks up to him, "Where's Giselle?" And then he balls. I was like, man, you didn't have to do my boy like that. You, damn. Then Vince's death, I was more of like, why? What was the why? Why kill? Why? But it was sad. It was a bit sad. It was just like very unnecessary. And then I think that was it. There's not too many emotional beats in these Fast and Furious movies, but when they hit them, they hit them. Out of all the movies, it's Dom and Brian in the first movie having the quarter mile race at the end of it. That's my favorite. Always will be. Yeah, Paul didn't seem like he was up for the Hollywood bullshit. I mean, I could be wrong, but you know, just you know. Yes, he will be. Like, and this is the thing. If you look at the first movie, Paul is quite clearly bigger on the poster. After that, Vin's bigger on the poster. I'm just throwing it out there. And I love Vin, but it's just like, come on, Vin. Exactly. I mean, I will take Han drifting a Supra, you know, attacking a truck more than I would Dom pulling down a ceiling. But it happened. Well, yeah, it's not even the fact that they killed him. It's the fact that they glossed it over. It's like, okay, let's kill him. I'm like, it wouldn't have even been so bad if he was in the movie a good chunk. He was in the movie for the first half hour, disappears for an hour, comes back before the third act, and then he dies at the end of the second act. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? You've just killed the mood. What? Why? What was the point? Like, and he doesn't even get killed in a blaze of glory. Like, he saves Mia before that, which was cool, but he dies literally just by a shot wound that from the back. Like, talk about killing him off unceremoniously. Sorry, that death always bothered me. I never liked that death ever. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't doing that, but man, I remember the morning when I found out. I was out towards I think Devon at the time. For those who don't know, in America, Devon is on the coast of the UK. And I was there with a family, and I was waking up, and I loaded up my phone, and it's similar to the Chadwick Boseman thing. I just found out, I was like, oh my, like my phone was blowing up with like, oh my god, Paul Walker, Paul Walker, Paul Walker, and we were sat downstairs watching the news, and I was like, shit. And I remember there being talk and you know, decisions, not decisions. There was all this talk of, oh, is it really him? Is it a hoax? And there were videos online saying, no, Paul's still alive. He was at the airport. That was probably and it was confirmed that was one of the last videos taken of him before that incident. Man, that morning was, the feeling was just like, man. I know, and exactly, Brian and Vince just got on the same page. I wanted to see that dynamic go. And let's be honest, the way the movies are now, Vince fits them perfectly. Meathead, muscle guy, brute, fits it. But they killed him off. Don't fucking understand why. Yeah, he owns on race. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Let's see if I can find something. Hang on. Tokyo Drift. Now, I actually had this poster. I can't find it. I don't know where it's gone. But I actually had this poster. I'm trying to find a high quality image of it, but I can't find a high quality image of it. Hang on. All right, let me pull up something. Whoa, baby. All right, where in the fuck is it? All right. Trying to find it. Where is it? Oh, come on. Also, guys, comment your favorite car as well from Fast and Furious. Comment your favorite car, just out of interest. Out of interest. Oh, I mean, we all know mine. Hang on, where is it? I mean, I don't know. I can't find it, but I'll share an image of my favorite car anyway. Can't find it, but I'll share an image of my car anyway. Well, not my car, but my favorite one. Dodge Challengers. I mean, the Dodge Challenge. I mean, it's dope. Yeah. Yeah. Leon. Where the hell is Leon? Like, he's in the first movie. He's like, streets closed, pizza boy. Find another way home, and then he just fucks off. Like, where the hell? Where is Leon at? But that is my favorite car right there, the Nissan Skyline GTR. That one. Hans RX-7 is so flipping good. So fucking sexy, that car. You're damn right. I mean, in the Matt Reeves universe, my favorite car is the Dodge Charger. But in this universe, you know, it's the Skyline. But I'm always in a toss-up. It's either the hey RJ, bro. It's either the Skyline or it's either the Charger. Like, I'm always in a toss-up between the both. I mean, it's American muscle, isn't it? I mean, you know, like in Fast 6, when Dom says to Letty, you never could resist American muscle. That's basically a way of saying, hey, you couldn't resist me. I see what you're doing, Dom. I see you. Hang on, let me pull up. Oh, hang on. What's that car that was in the latest one? They did like a Dodge Charger variant. See, it's crazy. I can pinpoint these cars literally by movie. I can tell you the movie that they're in instantly. Honestly, I can literally pinpoint them instantly. All right, so Dom's Charger, but Ice Charger, Fast 8, RX-7, that's Han. This is Jesse's Jetta from the first one. This one is the GT40 from Fast 5. That is the Dodge Charger, general one. This one's the Mitsubishi Evo. I just wish, and I think this might be, like, correct me if I'm wrong. Also, Luke, if you're watching, correct me if I'm wrong. I think this might be the same model as, you know, my rad, Sean's version in Tokyo Drift. But the design of that one is much better than this. Then you got the Toyota Supra. This one is, I think, is it a Honda? Hang on 1 second. 1 second. Oh, I thought it was a Honda. Yeah, Honda 2000. So basically, that's also in the first film as well, driven by Johnny Tran. Then this one, I keep forgetting the name of it. I think it's Buick Grand National. Yeah, 1987 Buick Grand National. Bang. And then I think that's a Dodge. I could be wrong. Hang on, Fast 5. I want to get it wrong because there's different there's different versions. Yeah, Dodge Charger SRT8. That's that one. Then you got the Nissan Skyline, and then this one was used literally to jump from tower to tower. You know, it's just yeah, fucking nuts, absolutely nuts, bloody mental. It's a hypersport stunt car, but I don't think it actually has. Yeah, it's the Lycan Hypersport stunt car, but you know, you're not really going to get much from it other than that. Let's find some more. But yeah, they need to bring Leon back. Like, Leon literally disappears after the first film. No mention of him again. And if Fast 10 and 11 are really tying up the saga, the best way to do it is, you know, let's pull out all the stops. Go all in. You bring Leon back as well. I was looking at something. But yeah. Hey, Paul the dude, what's up? Oh, the skyline can never be topped. Exactly. Leon had such a chill coolness, but man. Yeah, I only know like most of the names of the cars. Like my mate Luke is probably the guy for all that. Honestly, I mean, when me and him are in the gym, like honestly, every 2 seconds when we're lifting the weights, just we're hungry. every 2 seconds. And yet Leon had that kind of resilient coolness to him. There's a deleted scene of Leon, Jesse, Dom, and Brian sat at the back of the garage after working on a car, and they're all talking and stuff. I'm like, why wasn't that in the film? Why wasn't that in the film? But don't let this change the fact that I just went in there and saw that Hector is running 3 Honda Civics with spoon engines. He's a cop. We hungry. You're damn right. Damn right. Streets closed, pizza boy. Find another way home. Goddamn street racers. I mean, they were going to do a weird subplot for the 4 Fast and Furious. Apparently, Brian and Letty were supposed to be shacking up. That was in consideration at one point. I said, well, I'm fucking glad they didn't do that. Why the hell would you do that? Why? Like, talk about what? Like, I mean, apparently, the Gurkha. Oh, dude, that was isn't that the one that Hobbs drove in Fast 5? But yeah, they talked about it, and Michelle said she wouldn't come back if they did that. And I said, well, thank fuck for that. Why would you do that? What's the point? It's like Anakin and Padme are close together. All of a sudden, Padme's getting it on with bloody, Obi-Wan. It's like, what are you doing? Why? Then what's another example? Optimus Prime in Elite 1. All of a sudden, Elite 1's like, oh hey, Megatron. It's like, no, don't do that. Just bit my fucking tongue. Oh, yeah, thank God they didn't do that. Oh, fucking hell, man. I feel like chucking this fucking bloody remote at the bloody thing. Ow. My bloody tongue, man. It's streets closed, pizza boy. I mean, if they are to pull out all the stops, we got to bring Leon back. Hey, I'm gonna see if there's anything regarding Leon. Yes, Screen Rant has even done it. Yes, I'm gonna read this article. Oh, shit, man, that really hurt. Trying to not swear as much on these streams nowadays. It bit my tongue and it hurt. All right. All right. Furious 10 still has one missing original character to bring back. Expected to wrap up the franchise, the 2-part finale, Fast 10, has one character from Dominic Toretto's original crew to bring back. Leon. And he actually had the skyline in the first film before Brian did. Expected to wrap up the franchise, the 2-part finale, Fast and Furious 10, still has one character from the original movie to bring back. Between the Fast and the Furious and F9, the Fast saga is known for having a large set of characters who will alternate between the films depending on the story or external factors. Vin Diesel himself, who starred as Dom Toretto in the first film, only properly came back to the series in Fast and Furious 2009 after a brief cameo in Tokyo Drift. Dude, when he showed up in Tokyo Drift, I was like, yo. If not even the main star of the saga managed to be present in all the movies, lesser-known characters may be easily forgotten by audiences. That considered, for Fast 10 and 11 to truly be a finale, it should not waste the chance of bringing back characters and elements from the series' very first movie. Yeah, damn right. No matter the... Man, god damn it, Screen Rant. How many adverts do you need? Close that one as well. No matter the stakes of the mission, be it DVD players carrying a truck heist or preventing the end of the world, Toretto has always cared more about the well-being of his crew and family than about any turbo car. Boom! Said that earlier. That is one of the reasons why the franchise became so used to bringing back characters from the previous films, no matter how important they were to the story, whether in a cameo capacity or in a full role. The best example for that practice is Fast 5, the epic heist movie set in Rio de Janeiro that put together main and supportive characters from every Fast movie that had been released so far, including the usually pointed out as lowest entries in the series, Too Fast, Too Furious, and Tokyo Drift. In terms of money, in terms of what the fans responded, they've come a long way. Continuing that tradition, which becomes even more important now that the Fast and Furious saga is heading towards its ending, Fast 10 still has Leon, a character from the original film. I was actually talking about this the other week, and Screen Rant put out an article, like I'm always being right, to bring back one last ride. Leon was present in the first half of the movie as a member of Dom's crew, but was never given too much focus. After opposing Dom's plan for the truck heist, Leon left the team following the disastrous results of the mission. Given what happens to Jesse later in the movie, that might have been a good decision. Yeah, it was. Despite being a part of Dom's original crew in that movie, Leon has yet to receive the same treatment given to Vince and Jesse. The former returned and is an essential part of Fast 5, while the latter, who died in the first film, was at least remembered during a flashback in F9. That is true. Young Leon was not shown. Young Vince was shown, and young Jesse was shown, but Leon wasn't even mentioned. Showed the childhoods of Dom and Mia. While Fast 10 does not necessarily have to bring Leon in a more substantial role, it could present the character in a cameo capacity. I think a cameo would be good, or at least mention something about his life after the Fast and the Furious. Given that the only missing character presented in the series' first film who is still alive is Leon, Fast and Furious 10 should not waste the chance of bringing him back. Exactly. The finale is the perfect opportunity to make a callback to the franchise's early days without interrupting the ever-growing scale of the new films. Long past stealing DVDs, Toretto has shown throughout the series that his family will always have room for new and old faces. Yeah, fucking damn right. But yeah, like I completely agree with that. I think Leon needs to come back before the end of it, and I would be happy, with a cameo. Yeah, Screen Rant knows. Guy in your story weeks ago with that guy that bit his tongue. Oh, that was Mark Goldbridge. Mark Goldbridge. Look it up. It's funny. I said it's yeah. I mean, I did see something about him not wanting to come back, but it is possible. Yeah, I agree. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna play that Mark Goldbridge thing just one more time. Just for you guys. But one thing I will say, and I think this is important, is we have to always be mindful that sometimes we don't always get what we want as fans, and it is very, very likely that Leon or The Rock won't be in it. But I do think you could get Leon back. Like, come on, bring him back. Like, bring him back into the fold. All right, here we go. This is the bit. Go on.
Oh, good. YouTube. Ow, just bit mouth. I'm not ready for this morning, I tell you. Bit the inside of my mouth live. Just live. I can feel the blood already.
Wait for it.
Oh, that's going to be a bloody ulcer. Oh, I can't fuck. You know what? I feel like chucking this cup of tea at the bloody... To get them off.
There you go. That's where the reference was from. But yeah, time to bring Leon back into the fold. He's in the original movie. Bring him back. Bring it full circle. That's how I would do it. A TCK. What's up, bro? Raising a toast, sir. I think we can both agree that Fast 9 blew our ears off. Oh, that's sick. When I used to do mechanical engineering in college, my teacher used to put the clip from Fast 1 where Paul blew his pistons. Oh, that's funny. Oh, I love that scene where it's beeping at him. It's going, beep, 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 shut up. But the best bit of the entire movie is when Brian is in the Eclipse in the first one. He's testing the speed of it, spins out of control, and he says like, shit. And the music goes, hey, I won't get copyright hit for it. Let me just let me find it. Where is it? It's just the bit where he slams the steering wheel and he's like, shit. Oh man, honestly, it cracks me up every time. It's just it's just the randomness of it. He's just there, he's just like, shit. Dude, the minute when they send Roman and Ludacris into whatever, the same thing, Roman and Tej up into space and the soundtrack's blasting, I'm like, yo, I'm getting a headache with the noise. But yeah, my top 5 characters: Brian, Han, Dom, Brian, Han, Dom. I'm going to say Hobbs, and I'm going to say Deckard. I do love Roman. I do love Tej. I love Letty. I love Mia. Like, I love all the characters equally, but I think Brian is the heart of the franchise for me. Han is the soul of the franchise, as was proven in Fast 9. Dom is the franchise. Even in Tokyo Drift, he's in there. He's literally in every movie. He's showing up like Stan Lee, cameoing and wherever. The Rock redefined the franchise and gave it new life, and Deckard Shaw probably played the best villain of the franchise. So those are my 5. That music is so sick. It is. I'm going to go for another 10 minutes, guys, and then I'm going to round off. Another 10 minutes, and I'm going to round off. I've got to get some sleep. Got to get up. I got to get up, because I need you now. What about he's hella funny? I mean, he's funny, but I just... Hang on, what's this?
You have them 4 senses. You have Eli, you have Dimitri, Tori, Sam. Then what happens?
Oh, yeah. You guys like my new intro? Yeah, I had to make a change. But yeah, final questions. Final questions for Fast and Furious. Tell me all of your Fast and Furious questions. Get them in. Get them in. Get them all in. But yeah, I really enjoyed the Fast and Furious movies. They know what they are. There's nothing much more to it, you know? Oh yeah, Roman's in my top 10. I mean, but I do feel like as the franchise has progressed, in the second one when he's brought in, like he's more badass. After that, he kind of falls into the earn that paycheck Tyrese kind of thing where he's just there to make jokes. You know, that's one thing that I think as the franchise has progressed, he's kind of fallen into that comedic thing where the dude's literally screaming every 5 fucking seconds. But yeah. Dom put... You know what that is? Like, that's The Rock pulling down a helicopter. I'm like, get that fucking shit out of here. Like, get that out of it. When Captain America pulls down a helicopter, it's like, oh my god, this dude is strong. Holy shit. When The Rock does it, it's like, oh my god, get out of here. And when Dom does it, I'm like, oh my god, get out of here. Like, shit. Terminator. Dom! Someone needs to do an edit of like Finn and just put Roman's face on it. And instead of screaming, Ray! He's like, Dom! But mind you, that's what they do as well. Like in every Fast and Furious movie, why does Letty keep screaming Dom? Dom! 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 Like, why? What's the point? You know he's going to be fine. Like, fucking, we've had it like 5 times now where how many times now in each movie has there been a moment where you think, oh my god, Dom's going to die? Holy shit. Not for me, because you know Vin ain't dying like that. Like, if he is going to die, it's going to be in the final movie. Other than that, he ain't going anywhere. In Tokyo Drift, when he said, can he drive? Can he drive? You know what DK stands for? Donkey Kong? Drift King. Drift. What do you mean drift? Fucking shells at that moment. Hey, TCK. Hey, bro, you got to make that image, man. Cap seemed like... Yeah, and Cap's a super soldier, and The Rock's just like... pulling it in, like, easy. I'm like... How the fuck are you pulling down a helicopter? Yeah. But yeah, exactly. Dom's basically Superman. But the problem I have with this is that there's no tension there when a character's killed off because you know they can be brought back. But yet they kill Vince unceremoniously. Honestly, Vince's death will always annoy me. I never liked that death. It seems so needless. You may as well just not brought him back at all. What's the point? Why? Fucking annoying. Damn it. But yeah, I think Fast 9 is probably the only movie where the family members don't die. Like, I mean, Fast and Furious, you have Jesse die in that one. Too Fast, Too Furious, no one dies in that one. Tokyo Drift, Han originally died in that one. Fast and Furious, you had Letty die in that one. Fast and Furious 5, Vince dies in that one. Fast and Furious 6, you have Han die at the end. Fast and Furious 7, they carry on with that Han death. Fast and Furious 8, you have Elena dying. It's just, it's interesting. They have a lot of, yeah. It wouldn't surprise me at this point. May as well get the whole roster in there. Britain versus Captain America. Probably Cap. Yeah, Roman Reigns. He was in Hobbs and Shaw. He's in that universe. But so is Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Hart. They're a part of it too. It's bloody crazy to think about. Crazy to think about. Let me find something. One sec. Just finding the quote. Where is it? Finding the quote, finding the quote, finding the quote, finding the quote. There we go. That's the quote. That's the quote. Have I watched Peacemaker? Not yet. I need to get around to watching it. Haven't got around to watching it yet. But I need to. Life's simple. You make choices and you don't look back. Like, I mean, this quote here. You know, I have money. It's trust and character I need around me. You know, who you choose to be around you lets you know who you are. One car in exchange for knowing what a man's made of. It's a price I can live with. Look at all those people down there. They follow the rules for what? They're letting fear lead them. What happens if they don't? Life's simple. You make choices and you don't look back. Man. What a quote. What a quote. Okay, there we go. Now, for this, one sec. For the final part of this chosen live, the way I would end the Fast and Furious series is as follows. You have a flashback happen, but the flashback happens with the younger cast. Or maybe, no, not the younger cast, sorry. You have the kids. So you have Brian and Mia's kids. You have Dom and Elena and Letty's kids, I guess. You have all the kids, okay? You have all the kids do like a Harry Potter 19 years later kind of thing where they all end with a quarter-mile race. That's how you end it. That is how you bookend the Fast saga. You have the kids of Dominic Toretto and Brian O'Connor in a quarter-mile race. You end it the way it started. That's what you do. That is exactly what you do. Let me have a little Google, see if... see if anything comes up, because I think that's how it should end. It should end exactly like that. That's how it should end, in my opinion. In my opinion, that is how it should end. It shouldn't end any other way. One sec. There we go. Let's put up the final and most iconic image from this entire damn saga. Where is it? Boom. This is how you end it. You end it with Brian's kid and Dom's kid racing in a quarter mile. This is exactly how you end it. You have the shit go down with Cypher, you have Jason Momoa, all that kind of jazz. But you end it with this. 19 years later, Harry Potter style, this is how you end it. It's a brilliant quote. Yeah, damn straight. End it like that. I said, well, one of the quotes that's kind of carried on throughout the franchise is, you know, it's not about who's behind the car. No, hang on. It's not about the car. It's about who's behind the wheel. In Tokyo Drift, it's like in the first one, it's all about, you know, I take the cash and I take the respect, you know, blah, 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 blah. Too Fast, Too Furious. Brian shakes hands with everyone. Tokyo Drift is like, it's not the ride, it's the rider. Then you got Fast 9. It's like, car doesn't make the driver. Fast 8, you've got, what is it? Dom says, he knows it doesn't matter what's under the hood. Only thing that matters is who's behind the wheel. And I think that has kind of stayed true. And then obviously you've got family, and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's a key aspect of this franchise. As much as people play it up for jokes, it is a very, trying to keep my keyboard clean, a key part of it. Yeah, me too. Exactly. That's the only way to end it. It doesn't have to end in the same cars. Do you know what I would actually love? You know what I would really love is if Dom's kid likes skylines and stuff. Like Dom's kid literally takes the Supra and Brian's kid takes the Charger. I would love that. Like you switch it. Sort of like what Cobra Kai's done with Robbie and Sam and all that kind of stuff, where they switch stuff. Like I would fucking love that. If you have Dom's kid driving in a Supra and Brian's kid driving in a Charger. I would love that. I would actually love it because it would be a good reversal. Of course, though, that's only if they want to be risky. In another aspect, I kind of hope that they have, Brian's kid in the Supra and then Dom's kid in the Charger, just to keep Toretto with muscle and O'Connor with import. But I would like that. I wouldn't mind if they do that, just because it would be interesting, because the kids then make their own choices. That'd be cool. Oh, dude, you know what I love about that part is it's not necessarily the fact that Sean is cocky. Han loves the fact that Sean stands up to DK. Han loves what Sean's doing here. And when Sean does a terrible performance, crashes the Sylvia all over the place. Oh, sorry, the Mona Lisa, destroys the shit out of that car. When he's up on the top thing, everyone's like, oh my God, what have you done? And Han's looking at him like, man. And then he walks up and says, don't leave town. It's a great bond that they have. He even says to Sean, you're DK's kryptonite. Like, come on. Yeah, Fast 8. I mean, you know what happens if you take your foot off the tiger's neck, TCK? Whew! Tokyo Drift is your favorite. I like it. It's the only other one besides Fast 9 that I've got on Blu-ray. Look at that shit. Now, the thing is with this Blu-ray, what's weird about it is it has this thing called BD Live. I don't know if that's still ever been used, but this was one of the earliest Blu-rays, and it's really quite weird. But I tell you what, watching Fast and Furious in Blu-ray, man, hell yeah. Oh, look, I got a Hellboy poster. Nice. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, guys, I think I'm going to end this Chosen Live there. I've talked a little bit about Jason Momoa and his potential, what he will bring to the Fast and Furious franchise. And I've talked about the other 8 movies. I've given you my ranking of the movies that could be subject to change. I've talked about what I found important with the franchise, what I like about it, who my favorite characters are, favorite moments. But expect more Chosen Lives like this in future. And I want to thank everyone for tuning into the Book of Boba Fett watch party I had. I will 100% be doing one for the finale as well. I might do one for Moon Knight. I'll see how I go. I'll see how things progress. But yeah, thank you all for tuning into Chosen Live number 46. TCK, much love for you, Eli, sir. Calm down, Hawk. See you later, Tristan. Yeah, the way he snapped that. Like, he fucking picks him up, slams him, and then fucking smacks him right in the... How the... What? Like, but yeah, yeah. Lisa, Tristan, maybe. AR, my bro. You're damn right. That's how we do it. We do it for family. Okay, guys. I will see you all later on. And yes, newer setup. Much better than before. So, onwards and upwards, baby. I hear how you're saying it, and I don't like it. If it wasn't for my dad, even though I don't have a good bond with him, he was the reason I know about these movies. There you go. There you go, bro. You're damn right. I tell you what, I might put on a Fast and Furious movie now right before I go to bed. Just before I end. Just comment what movie, what one of the 9 do I watch? Now, all right, what one of the 10? I'll count Hobbs and Shaw. What one of the 10? And also, for anyone hoping it goes back to full-on street racing, they introduced a million billion-pound super soldier that's bulletproof in Hobbs and Shaw. Like, it ain't going back that way. But comment below. Let's just see, out of interest. Watch Fast 9 again. Okay, Tristan says Fast 9. Fast 5, says DCK. Anyone else in the comment? We're left between 5 and 9. Okay, right. 5 and 9 it shall be. I'm going to flip a coin. All right. Because TCK, you said... hang on, one sec. Focus. Right, there we go. Because... Oh, for God's sake. All right, there we go. Because TCK, you said Fast 5 and your Eli... your heads. Tristan, your Spider-Man, so web slinging, Fast 9. So Tails is 9, heads is 5. All right, we ready? Heads is 5, tails is 9. All right, heads is 5. Looks like it's going to be 5. So it'll be 5 tonight. We've got Roman dodging, but yeah, don't remind me of that. Okay, guys, I will see you all for Kings of Pop Culture tomorrow. We're watching the holiday special. No, not tomorrow. Day after tomorrow, sorry. Done another pun. For the holiday special. Can't fucking wait for that. Great. I've had 2 bad watch parties back to back. I've had He's All That and now holiday special. Luckily, Boba Fett in between evened that out a little bit. But I will see you all in another video soon. And I'm just read a Fast and Furious quote to end. Can't see the thing at the moment, guys. Let's find a quote. The most important thing in life will always be the people in this room. Right here, right now. You don't turn your back on family, and I live my life a quarter mile at a time. And the street always wins.